everybody, this is Dr. Carmen Bryant. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that are new to my channel, I appreciate you guys coming on. Thank you guys so much for finding something valuable that I have to say concerning your mental well-being, really dealing with the discard or you discarding a narcissist, or even the relationship problems concerning someone that may possibly have narcissistic personality disorder. You know, this week my mentor has been doing videos along with my big sister, Pastor Kathy Gibson, in reference to forgiveness and pain and rejection. And it's really been some awesome videos. You guys go check it out. Go check out. It's not going to be on Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper, but if you go to Apostle Helen Sadler on Periscope and Kathy Gibson on Periscope, the last few, I think it was like the few broadcasts, maybe 2 or 3 broadcasts, have been dealing with rejection and pain and, dealing with forgiveness. And, I felt compelled because this is my family, that we were talking about pain and rejection and the hurt, that I wanted to come on and talk to you guys today in reference to, some of the root of the issues that you guys are going through. Now, just to let you guys know, today is Veterans Day. To all my comrades, fellow brothers and sisters who have served in any branch of service, I would like to say thank you so much for your service. When you guys get an opportunity, if you see a veteran, just say thank you for your service, or thank you, because you have no idea some of the sacrifices that these veterans have made. Some people may not have ever deployed, but at the same time, the sacrifices that they make being away from their families. You have no idea, and always remember that a lot of us have served, some of us have served, but some of us have given some, and some of us have given all. Always remember that. There are some that have given, given service. Some of them have given, most of us have given some, and some of us have given all, and have lost their lives, in service in the military. So when you see a veteran, if you want to buy them a cup of coffee, pay for their meal, just say thank you. For some people that are veterans, you can kind of tell who the veterans are. But those of you who don't know, if you find out, pay for a meal, buy them a cup of coffee. Just say thank you. Just let them know that they're appreciated. And so today I want to, actually, I'm at home today because I did have some clientele, and then I cut the clientele kind of short so I can enjoy my day, because I'm going to do some self-care, because I'm always busy. Even when I'm at home, I'm busy doing something, but I wanted to come today and, in the comfort of my home. And on top of that, I'm cooking myself some lunch. So you guys have to bear with me as I'm cooking lunch. So you guys get to hang out with me while I'm cooking some lunch. But I wanted to talk about pain. Some of you guys have been through some excruciating pain in childhood. This right here is just a dealing with the narcissist. This right here is almost like the what I want to say, the frosting on top of the cake. So some of you guys are going through such excruciating pain right now. But if you actually look back, it stems from childhood trauma. A lot of you guys were raised by narcissistic parents. A lot of you guys lived in toxic environments. A lot of you, excuse me guys, let me get a spoon. But a lot of you guys have lived in toxic environments. When you lived in a home where you had narcissistic parents, or even narcissistic parent, for a child, there is no escape. It's almost like, what am I supposed to do? I'm in this home. I cannot escape. And for a lot of kids, they don't want to come back home. They don't want to come back home. Once they leave out of the house, they don't want to come back home. But, the foundation has been laid for you. So the foundation of trauma, that's all you've known, is toxic families, toxic environments, grandparents, parents, brothers and sisters, uncles and aunts, or whatever. And some of you guys, the ultimate no-no, the sexual abuse, where the parents may have crossed boundaries. Or if it wasn't the parents, cousins, uncles, aunts, someone has crossed the boundaries and have stolen your childhood. And so all you've ever known was pain and hurt. All you've ever known is toxic environment. Something healthy is not normal to you. Healthy relationships are not normal to you, because it feels like, why do you like me? And it's not the problem of the person that likes you, it's your problem. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, but that's your problem. This is how you view people. Think about it. When your foundation has been disrupted, when you have parents that are dysfunctional, give you a prime example. Some of you have never had a mother hug. Some of you guys have never felt the hug of a mother. Even when you were hugged by a mother or a parent, it almost felt cold and distant. you hug, but it's almost like I'm supposed to do this, but you never really feel the comfort of a mother when you get that hug, that nurturing, I feel safe type of hug. And so some of you guys are not older until people like, my mentor, I remember hugging her for the first time. Excuse me, you guys. But I remember hugging her for the first time. And when she hugged me, that was the first time I felt a hug of a mother. What it felt like to be hugged by a mother, because everything has always been superficial for me. It was a hug and I was obligated to the hug. But when she hugged me, I felt the hug for the first time of a mother. I felt what it felt like to, and I always made sure I hugged my brothers and sisters. I made sure that I hugged my children because that's something that I lacked. And so I hugged them because I knew what it felt like not to be hugged or felt like you cared. And so I didn't know what that felt like. So I didn't know. I just knew they looked comfortable. They looked like they were being comforted, or they cried, and they felt comfortable. But I never knew what that felt like until, years ago, when she hugged me for the first time, and when I felt the love of a mother. I felt the hug, and I felt what it felt like to feel comforted. She didn't have to say anything. I felt comforted. And so when this is learning empathy too, not saying that I didn't have empathy. I just, my sense of empathy was kind of what we're going to say, damaged, because I didn't have empathy around me in my home. And so to feel that, I wanted to repeat that with my children. I wanted to repeat it with people. And I wasn't a touchy-feely type of person. In the military, that makes it wonderful, because stay away from me, stay arm length. We don't have to hug. We're not doing all this hugging and stuff, But when I begin to realize that sometimes people just need a hug, especially dealing with narcissist abuse, sometimes people just need a hug just to feel comforted, and during this COVID, it's like you can't touch anybody. So can't touch anybody. All of us are doing video conferences. You're talking to people. You're at a distance. We're not getting close. And sometimes people just need a hug, just a hug to say that I care. And hugs speak volumes. It brings comfort. It brings peace, momentary peace, this is a moment in time where I feel like somebody cares about me. And some of you lack that because you come from homes that were toxic. You never had anyone to hug you. You never had anyone just to rub your cheek like this, to rub your cheek and say, you're my pretty girl, or just to rub your head and say, it's going to be okay, or just to touch your arm. Some of you guys lack touch. And when you lack touch, you think that is normal. So when people touch you, you're like, what do you want? You cringe. Some people can't handle touch. You cringe like, what do you want? Because every touch that you ever felt from the narcissistic parent or whoever it was around you always came with something that went along with it. It was never pure. It always came with something. It followed with something. And so you already cringe like, what are you touching me for? Why are you touching me? It always has, and then for those that you have been sexually assaulted. Some of you, as children, males and females alike, have been sexually violated at a very young age, and your mind was thrust into a responsibility that you were not ready for. Your mind couldn't handle the response of your body and what was happening. You had not matured into that yet to understand what was happening. And for some people, many sexual assault victims that or survivors that I have spoken to, a lot of them associated that, sex brings security and brings love. So if I give sex, I'm going to get love. But you remember, with a man, sex plus sex equals more sex. And so they'll, like my mentor said, Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper, a man will promise relationship in order to get sex. A woman will give sex in order to hope she can lock in a relationship. And so we've got this thing confused. And then those of you that have been, violated at a very young age, your mindset, depending on what that abuser said to you or what you started imagining in your head, is that if I give sex, I'm going to get security. If I give sex, I'm going to get love and closeness. So your mind was already warped at a very young age. So you grew up with this dysfunctional foundation. So you think that if I give sex, it's going to make someone love me. If I give sex, it's going to make you commit to me in a relationship. And that's not how relationships work. And that's not how people, that's not how people are. That's how we think dysfunctionally, put it that way. And so here you are, you guys have, some of you have it's the final straw. This narcissist is just the cream on top. The narcissist is not even the root of the problem. Some of you guys are going through the problems with the narcissist and what they've done and how they've done you. But this is almost like as a validation. See I'm not worth it. C, I'm not worth being loved. My parents couldn't love me. This is what happened, and everyone does me this way. So that's all you ever knew. And even though you may not want to be or like to be in a relationship like that, you go back to the very thing that you know. That's all you know. That's all you know. And so that's all you draw. So to you, your comfort zone, though you may not like it, but your comfort zone is that toxic environment. And so you tend to draw toxic people. And if you actually look back at the people that you have dated, the toxic people you have dated, the red flags were there. It's just that you didn't recognize the red flags, but you can look back at some of the people and like, he reminds me of my father. She reminds me of my mother. She reminds me of my sister, auntie, cousin, whoever. I guarantee those narcissists reminded you of somebody that was toxic or abusive in your relationship, and you just keep repeating the cycle. It just now gotten to a point where you're just tired of this. Why do people keep treating me like this? Why do I have to go through this? Am I not worth being loved? Doesn't anybody care about me? That's why I really encourage you guys to go buy my sister's book. It is Destiny Man, The Qualities to Look For. Now, it is a Christian-based book. It is. Take the principles out of it. I always say take the print. We don't all have the same belief, and I get it. Take the principles out of the book. Those of you that are Christians, look at the book. There is a man out there for you. But you have to see, you are so involved with the wrong people, he can't find you. And gentlemen, the same thing. You guys are so desperate. Some men are even desperate about being in a relationship that the right one, you can't even find the right one because the wrong one is always in the way. So the right one walks by, you don't even know it's her. Or the right man walks by, you don't even know it's him. But there is somebody out there for you. But this person doesn't want you all jacked up. They want you whole. They want you healed. They want you in your right mind. They want you confident. Men like confident women. Confident, And of course, listen, ladies, I don't care how much a man says, no, I need a woman that is smart, that is big. A man is attracted by what they see. And so even though a man may want a woman with character, they want a woman with character. They want someone that is business minded. They want someone that can hold a conversation with them, above or on the same level as them. They're not, they don't want a woman that's smearing boogers on a piece of paper and they think that's cute just because she got big tatas and she wear tight clothes, but she can't even hold a full conversation. A man is still attracted by what they see. And then those, when you have a real man, even though they're attracted by what they see and they say she's beautiful, they still want to know her character. Can you hold a conversation? Do you have a future? Do you have a portfolio? Do you have a life? Are you going somewhere? Likewise, ladies, when you look at a man, yeah, him cute. Yeah, him real cute. Him got a little six pack. You better look at his family though. You got to remember, is he a man of character? Is he a man of standard? And some of you guys try to jump in the bed with him so quick to lock him down. He's not going to have any respect for you. What did Rick James say? It's not the type you take home to mother. You don't want to be that one. Sometimes you need to sit your tail down and heal first. Sit down and heal. Look at back in what causes you to be drawn to these type of people is the environment that you came out of yourself. And so it takes time. You have to heal. Some people want to heal real fast. Well, you didn't get into the situation real fast. Your toxic family wasn't real fast. You probably spent about 16 to 18 years in the home with that toxic family. Then you got out and wasted a lot of time with all the wrong people. So why do you think you're going to heal just in one day? It's a process. When you are going through detox, if you talk to anybody that has ever been in AA programs or have been in inpatient or outpatient treatment, those that have been, it takes a minute for your body to detox the drugs out of your system. But you got to remember there's a psychological addiction to the drug. So even though you're physiologically addicted to a drug, you're still psychologically addicted to the drug. That's why it's good to get treatment. Some people do cold turkey. When you do cold turkey, sometimes you still have those psychological addictions to that drug. And that's likewise the same thing with a narcissist. You get out and you have that physical addiction to them. Now you're out and you're dealing with the psychological addiction to that individual because they were able to take you up, bring you down. That's that trauma bonding. Take you up, bring you down, take you up and make you feel good about yourself, then crash you down on your face. And then they feel empowered because I'm the one that's able to make you have emotions. I'm the one that's able to control your attitude, your behavior. I'm the one that's able to trigger you, period. They're fulfilled in the fact that I have control over your emotions. And that's why it's good to gray rock. You have to practice that. You have to remember that. But a lot of you are so wounded and a lot of that, it doesn't come. Yes, of course, the narcissist has deeply wounded you. But it's like it's validating all the wounds that you have received growing up. It's validating everything that you were thinking, and your thoughts were dysfunctional because you were in a dysfunctional family. And some of you are so hurt because you have narcissistic parents, and your narcissistic parents cannot love you. They don't know how to reciprocate love. They don't know. They don't know how to love you. They don't know how to comfort you. Everything they do, they watch and they mirror. They watch and they mirror. And you know that they watch and mirror because they give you a hug and you feel so cold. It's so ice cold. It has no emotion to it. It has no comfort to it. There's nothing to that hug. And some of you guys are cordial. Some of you guys are respectful. And you may hug and everything because that's the thing to do. You're supposed to do it. But some of you guys it's a waste of my time because I feel so empty. I feel so lost. And then it hurts so bad because these are your parents. And the parents usually set the foundation and give you an idea of what to expect from the world. And when that foundation is broken, when that foundation is, you have a flawed sense of thinking, and how you relate to the world and the people around you. And majority of you guys are chasing after a person that rejected you. And so you're constantly trying to prove yourself. You're constantly trying to prove to this person, and who you're really trying to prove it to is that parent, that mother that rejected or neglected you, that father that abandoned you, and you're constantly trying to prove your worth. So every person that you get who is very similar to one of your parents that may have rejected or abandoned you, you're constantly trying to prove your worth. Some of you are even going through school and getting an education, getting a certain job just to prove your worth. Look, I am pretty. Look, I am smart. Look, I bought my first home. Look, I buy my own cars. And you looking at your sisters and your brothers, and your sisters and your brothers are just lazy. You're thinking like, they don't do nothing, and look at me, and I'm doing this, and why won't you pay me attention? Because they know it hurts you, because it causes you to run behind them. Look at me, mama, look at me, daddy, look. And some of you guys are still dealing with that wounded child on the inside of you. You guys are still dealing with the wounded child inside of you. And when you get with that narcissist, you're still trying to prove your worth because that narcissist has cut you off. That narcissist ghosts you. There is no real connection with that narcissist. And so you're replaying your own family life in your family, and you're constantly trying to prove to this narcissist, look at me, look at me, look at me. While the narcissist is like, no, you look at me. I'm the important one here. You look at me. And then even after that narcissist has left, you guys have invested time, energy, money. You've invested all this time, energy, and money. You have family, years that you've invested. You've purchased homes and built businesses. And you still, after they leave, you're still looking like, why? Look at me. I have worth. Look at me. You know what? You ain't got to look at you. You got worth. You got to have self-worth, and you got to build on that. You got to build. And the way you build, you get counseling. I'm telling you guys, some of you guys don't need coaching first. Some of you guys need counseling first. First, you have to deal with some of those childhood traumas. Some of you have to deal with the root of the issues and where you came from. And when you begin to deal with the root of the issues and forgive yourself, some of you need to forgive yourself. You haven't even forgive yourself for making the wrong decisions. And sometimes you're trying to forgive yourself for stuff that are just, come on, we all make mistakes. We got skeletons in the closet. Some of you got graveyards in your closet, but we're not being judgmental. We grew and you're not running for political office, I hope. If you are, then some of those skeletons gonna come out. But you know what? It is what it is. Yep, I made some mistakes. What can I say? But some of you guys need to forgive yourself. Some of you guys are still struggling with the fact that your kids turned out to be narcissists, and you blaming yourself because of the fact that they were in an environment with you. That's why I encourage you guys, go check out the videos on Periscope. It's Apostle Helen Sadler and Kathy Gibson. Go check out the videos. I posted some of them on my Overcoming Narcissist Abuse and Psychological Health Consultants and Services Facebook page. But go check out, because they're talking about healing, and it's really in depth. It's really for rejection and parents, and I really encourage you guys, get counseling. Get counseling before you invest in coaching. And some of you guys have to invest in yourself. If you can get an expensive wig, eyelashes, get your hair did, get your toes done, buy an expensive suit. Some of you brothers going and buying these nice cars, and you're doing all this superficial stuff to make you feel good. But what you really need to invest in is your soul, your heart. You need to go and get a counselor first. Get you a counselor and then get you a coach, because the coach is going to help you maneuver the playing field. But a counselor is going to get to the root of some of your childhood issues that actually, if you get to those childhood issues and try to fix that foundation, then you can begin to grow and love with yourself. Love yourself. And when you start loving yourself and you have more respect and you honor yourself, you're not going to let just anything come into your life, anything come into your port. I'm telling you. And that's why I tell you guys, I do counseling in the state of Washington. So if you are in the state of Washington, I can provide you with counseling services if I have availability, because I'm booked up a lot and very quickly. I book up very quickly, and I can provide you counseling inside the state of Washington. If you're outside the state of Washington, y'all stop emailing me and telling me I need counseling and you're on the outside the state of Washington. I cannot provide you with counseling outside the state of Washington. I am licensed in the state of Washington, and that's it. I can provide you with coaching services, but I will not deal with mental health issues in coaching. But with the coaching, I focus on the future. I focus on creating goals with you and getting you forward and moving you forward in the future. We're not going to deal with the past. We're dealing with the relationship with that narcissist, and I'll tell you what they're doing. I'm telling you why they're doing what they're doing to help maneuver you on the battlefield. But with counseling goes to direct issues like childhood trauma, sexual assault, how you were feeling, how did your body respond, give you some techniques on how to, relax and medication management, meaning that, you connect with someone that's managing your medication as I'm providing you with counseling. So even with the app, the link that is underneath my video on YouTube, it is betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen, and you'll get a 10% discount. And with that 10% discount, you can also let them know if you have any financial difficulties, they can assist you with a grant. I'm not counseling on BetterHelp.com. So I'm not on BetterHelp.com doing the counseling, but they're licensed counselors in your states and even in Canada, because I've heard some excellent reviews with people. Ingrid Johnson is the one in Canada. Look for her in Canada. She understands narcissist abuse, but when you're vetting a counselor, ask them, do you understand PTSD? Do you understand childhood trauma? Do you understand childhood sexual trauma? Do you understand parental alienation? Do you understand complex post-traumatic stress? Do you understand domestic violence and the effects of domestic violence? Sociopath, psychopath, you can ask them. Narcissists, do you understand those type of abuse that occur by those type of people? But don't go in there, do you understand narcissist abuse? Well, do you understand trauma bonding? Do you understand scapegoat and ghosting? A lot of them don't understand that language, but when you bring the definition to them, if you tell them what you're looking for, a lot of them do understand what you're talking about, and they learn as you're educating them as well. So check it out, see what you think, then go get a coach. Invest in yourself. If you can invest thousands and thousands of dollars on yourself, buying clothes and this and that, you can invest in buying a book. Like I have a book, Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection, which tells you what it looks like. Real people telling you how it looks like. And then my sister has one, Destiny Man, the qualities to look for. It's good for male and females alike to read it. But ladies, is letting you know that he's out there somewhere. But you need to sit your tail down and heal first. He don't want no broken vessel. He don't want no hot mess. If you're looking for a real man, or if you're looking for a real woman, you got to be whole. You got to be a real man and a real woman first in order to draw that. You're going to draw what's in you. And if you got full of holes and you're hurting and you're bleeding all over the place, guess what? You're going to pull pus. You're going to pull flies and infections. You're going to pull every predator. That's what you're going to pull. So sometimes you need to shut it off, shut that down so that you can take the opportunity to heal for yourself. And so I do offer coaching. So those of you that want any information in reference to coaching, you can contact me at drcarmenbryant@outlook.com. I'll provide you with the fees for my services. Make sure you contact me because my slots fill up really, really quick. And usually on a week-by-week basis, it fills up pretty quick. And then on top of that, I'm also a private practitioner. So my slots, some of my slots are just ongoing slots as well. But I thank you guys so much for paying. I couldn't even cook because I was focused on you guys. I was going to start cooking, but I couldn't focus while I was cooking. So I don't know how these people do these cook shows or do like makeup and have a whole conversation and stay focused. Whenever I got to keep still and look at you guys. Well, look at the camera. But I couldn't even do my cooking stuff because I can't. It's almost like talking to yourself walking around. But thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for following me. Make sure you subscribe, Dr. Carmen Bryant at Outlook.com. Share the video. Make sure you go check out, you can go to my Facebook page, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse, or Psychological Health Consultants and Services. Is a mouthful. It's almost like you're speaking in tongues, but it's a long name, and I apologize. Instagram, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. I come on live on Sundays. I usually come on live, depending on when I get home, about 7, 8 o'clock, 6, 7, 8 o'clock. Sometimes I can come on a little early if we leave a little early, but usually about 6, 7, 8 o'clock, I usually come on live. You can check out my big sister. She comes on Mondays. Go on Periscope. It's Kathy Gibson. She comes on at 6 o'clock. Hold on. She comes on at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Tasha, which is Natasha's Touch, is where I get all that pretty jewelry from. Not this one. This right here is which one is this? Paparazzi. This is Paparazzi. But she comes on with all that pretty jewelry. She comes on at 6 o'clock on Saturdays. And I come on Sundays. And then, of course, you have Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper. Make sure you subscribe to her channel. Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper. Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper. That's what it is. I'm trying to put my name on the end of hers. But Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper, go check out the YouTube channel. And once again, I really appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And you guys have a wonderful week. I'll be back. You guys take care of yourselves, all right? Talk to you later.